And for the last part of this morning's programme, we're turning our attention to a different topic, and that is the one of abandoned cars, which has been causing quite a problem around the territory for a number of years. But now transport officials are planning to change the law to plug a loophole, basically, to try and stop people from dumping cars that they don't want anymore. And under the change, the vehicle registration, which is currently automatically cancelled if it hasn't been renewed after 2 years, meaning the owner is no longer responsible for it, that automatic cancellation will be halted, and owners will still be held liable for what happens to their cars after that. To talk more about this, we're joined on the line by Sai Kung District Councillor Christine Fong. Good morning.
Good morning, Jane and Carl.
Hi.
Good morning.
Thanks very much for joining us. We know Sai Kung is a big area, urban areas, lots of rural areas as well. I mean, how much has this problem of people dumping their old unwanted cars been?
Yes, it is. Sai Kung, our area, it's really a rural area in Sai Kung, and we currently have quite a number of abandoned cars is still being abandoned along some remote location or inside the village, or some village along the village road. So where some owners have just left their vehicles in some scattered area. This has led to water accumulation, breeding mosquitoes, and affecting our environmental hygiene. So that's why I strongly support the amendment of the existing law to tackle those unwanted cars.
Yeah. What is the original penalty right now?
I think right now we are quite difficult to find the owners. And
is it like
right now,
once the car plate got removed, so is this hard to trace who is the car? Okay.
Yeah, that's true. And at present, what the government is handling is handling the abandoned vehicles involve multiple government departments taking joint action, which is quite labor intensive. For example, we need to have Transportation Department, TD, Home Affairs Department, HAD, Highway Department, and even Lands Department. They need to make sure that they are parking in a not unauthorized area, which is quite labor intensive. So that's why I totally agree that amending law could help to combat the abandonment of the vehicles in our public places.
Yeah, you mentioned accumulating water and breeding mosquitoes and everything. I mean, what other problems? Obstruction of roads. I guess basically an eyesore.
Yeah, that one of the situations that may some drivers, some car owners, I would say, they simply dump it and then let the grass, grow up, like a web over the vehicle. Yeah. So of course it will affect the driving eyesight area, and under the current arrangement, the authorities are unable to prosecute owners of unlicensed vehicles for improper abandonment. This amendment, I think, it will pop that loophole. And I believe it should help to curb the dumping, the junk cars on the street. But I think, however, we should first target the vehicles abandoned in, our village area that cause the environmental issues or obstruction. That's the priorities. I think the government should do it. But but I understand that they have a grace period, because the commencement date will be a year later. So I hope they can reconsider some some situation. For example, for people, it will hesitate to buy the used car. So will it affect the business sector? So I hope TD, Transportation Department, will assist the used car demolition, demolition part. So whether they have enough facilities to recollect those used cars or that kind of channel to help the industry to solve this kind of problem, or solve the law amendment situation.
Do you get the complaints or the reports from the cyclone's residents very often?
Yes, it is. We did receive quite often about those abandoned cars being dumped along the village road. So as I mentioned, they are quite labor intensive by different departments. So they are quite difficult to organize, maybe once or twice a year to check, to inspect, or even tow those cars vehicles away. So it costs government a lot of money intensive, labor intensive as well. So that's why I strongly support this amendment of the existing law to tackle the abandoned cars. I hope some of the used car or car owners, they may reconsider to properly handle the unwanted vehicles before the grace period.
Do you think just like what we have mentioned in the first half of our program, so adding more CCTV or CCTV on the street or on the lights are helpful?
Well, that could be. I think always CCTV in our remote or rural area is useful, is helpful. I think no matter to tackle those hygiene problems, or even people are doing unwanted things or dumping demolition items, those are useful. But I think for such a big items, I think government can do. I think by using this amendment of the existing law would much helpful to better than of course a different way can also help, but at least I think we have more way to solve the actual problem. Yeah, it's the best way though.
Because it's been pointed out that if an owner ignores the notice that they will receive from the authorities after 2 years, if they haven't renewed the registration after 2 years, if they ignore the notice, they can be liable for a fine of $10,000 and then a prison term of up to 3 months. So, as pointed out, that fine is greater than the cost of scrapping a car, so it should be quite a big incentive to actually do something, but to do the right thing rather than just dumping the car.
Yeah, but I that's why I think the penalties this proposing fines up to 10,000, and there's also prison terms, and even jail up to maximum as long as 6 months. I think this is quite will have really effective on this amendment, law amendment. But one thing I would like to mention about is I think this law will provide extension. It should have extension, for instance, for some owners who have not renewed their license for personal reasons, but do not impact the public. Additionally, for some antique cars stored properly in our private, in their private location or parking lot, could there be consideration for reasonable exemption? I think I would suggest Transportation Department to reconsider this kind of exemption for those car owners. So that will good for our Hong Kong image as a whole. Yeah. So I think that will be helpful. I hope government can reconsider.
Okay. Because if the car is in the owner's parking lot or sitting in their garage, it's not illegal. Yes. It wouldn't amount to illegal abandonment, right?
Yes.
Do we have a lot of ways to demolish cars? Actually,
I think because the iron or some, of course, they need to demolish into different parts. For example, the engine part, especially those electronics or some mercury parts, we do have a factory in Tuen Mun to collect because that will pollute the environment. Other than that, the rest are iron and metal. Those things can recycle. So I think this is a very important part that the transportation department can help the industrial to recycle that kind of useful items and then ship to some other countries.
And the rubber tires?
Yes, rubber tires definitely will be good for even road pavement or some bricks for road pavement. That will be also very good for recycling. So I think I hope that's why we can also support. I think TD, Transportation Department, could support more on recycling items and help the industry to have ESG. That is important as well.
Yeah. Because some places, if you want to get rid of your old car, you don't need it anymore, you don't want it anymore, you can actually trade it in for scrap value. I mean, it wouldn't be very much, but someone would actually give you an amount of cash in return for the car. Yeah.
That's true, but that was in the old day. But of course, there's some small items that can be being used as a part to repair the other used car that normally run in Hong Kong, but because of the sale price is not ideal, so that's why they normally just simply demolish after picking up those useful items or useful parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks very much for speaking to us on this morning's programme, Christine Fong. And yes, and let's hope this amendment will sort of go a long way to solving the problem. Thank you very much to our listeners. Thanks to our guest presenter this morning.
Thank you.
Ka Ha. Thanks, Ka. And thanks
you.
to our producer, Raphael, and technician James. Stay with us because we've got the brunch with Noreen coming up. And that is after the time signal and the news summary.